Drink beer, it's good for you.
Hello and welcome to the video. In this video I'll be talking everything Brewtools. I want to make it very clear before we begin that I do not have any financial link whatsoever to this company, and this system is currently on loan from them as they simply want my opinion on it as an experienced brewer. So this unit is not in my possession for the purpose of this review, but many people out there seem eager for my review, so here it is. The first thing that you notice when you take this system out of its box is how solid and well polished it is. Polished in two ways really. Yes, it is really shiny, and if a gang of very strong magpies were to see it and have the brains and brawn to lift it, then it could be at risk. But more than anything, polished in a way that this is very well built and thought out. It is very clear that no expense has been spared here, and the designers have simply built the brewing system they would most love to have themselves. So let's go on a walk through of what this comprises of. At the heart of this brewing system is a 7-inch touchscreen that acts as the controller. This is not the touchscreen that you would find on some cheap Android tablet though. This is a touchscreen with decent specs, and baked into this you have both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.2. One very nice thing is that the manufacturer has a history so far of adding nice new features to this, and these are easily added due to the online connectivity. Let's go on a little tour of this controller now. Here in the settings you can see that you have full control over the usual things, but also with some extras. One of these that is most notable is that you can control the maximum current of the relays. Both the 40 litre and the 80 litre systems have two relays. These relays can be switched between 10, 13, 15 and 16 amps. Here you can see that we have Wi-Fi connectivity for updates, and planned for the future is a cloud service where users can manage devices and edit recipes. You will also be able to push recipes directly from the Brewfather app. Manufacturers hope to have all of this in place before the end of 2019. Exciting. If you are not familiar with the Brewfather brewing software, then I would highly recommend that you give it a look. I will include a link in the description of this video. I guess the online update section needs no real introduction, but really for a brewing system this is something new. Good to see that this is in place, as I guess we have all found systems before this one rather stuck in the year they were made. Let's go into manual mode now, totally ignoring that teaser of recipe mode. This main screen gives you all you really need to know during brewing, with just a quick press needed for input and return temperature when cooling. You can also access the main settings quickly from this screen also. So as you can see, there is much relevant information here, and it's all actually interactive. So if I want to change the temperature, then I click on it, and by slider control I can change the value. Both the pump and the heating can be adjusted by percentage, or in the case of heating this can be set to automatic, which gives you PID algorithm control. You also have a timer here that can be set whenever you need it. Very handy. The next feature of this system that really stands it apart from other brewing systems is that you have a great deal of customization on offer due to these ports found on the system. You are supplied with and can further add on three-way valves and connections of various types, so that you can build your system in the way that best suits your brewing. Each of these components is of a very high professional quality, and they are going to outlive most of us for sure. The components on screen are part of this selection but are not the full selection. I will cover this later. This level of customization has proved to be a very popular concept with the existing Brewtools community, and it gets my thumbs up for sure also. I really love the flexibility that this provides. Let me show you some basic designs. This first design is the most basic and incorporates a counterflow chiller. It gives you the facility to sparge and transfer your wort into your fermenter using the same hosing on the right hand side of the system. With this method you are cooling all of your wort back into the system using the counterflow chiller. But this works surprisingly well here and made me question how good other counterflow chillers are compared to the one on offer from Brewtools. Naturally you get what you pay for here. This next design adds another three-way valve and really builds on things. Mostly this allows you to pump wort around the counterflow chiller and straight into your fermenter using the counterflow chiller in the traditional way. This is simply lightning fast, and using the display panel showing both input and output temperatures, you have full control. You can also use this setup to drain the system when cleaning, which is super handy because you never need to lift this system to empty it. More on this later. In this third design there is a further 3-way valve added to the setup that makes things more tidy when it comes to disconnecting the counterflow chiller and draining it after cleaning. Here are also some more designs for you to look at, and for more details of further ways to set up the Brewtools there is a Facebook group for the system, which has a mix of Norwegian and English languages within its posts. As luck would have it, Facebook does have a translation feature. Another central feature to the Brewtools is this valve found on the brewing system. Please see on screen a guide as to how the valve is positioned changes how the flow of the system operates. Whilst at first this took a little getting used to, as I see it this is yet another great idea that makes this system really stand out. By having this valve you open up other possibilities never seen before on a homebrew system, and this is particularly useful when it comes to the cleaning side. In the middle of the brewing system you have this centre pipe. If this pipe is removed and the right valve position is selected, then you can drain the system totally. This is aided by the fact that the bottom of this system is concave, a very nice touch. Here are 2 additional parts that are added to this centre pipe known as the mash hat and the sparge pipe. If you were to take their names literally you may think that they are only useful during the brewing process, but in actual fact they double up as CIP, which on this system works particularly well as the pump supplied is powerful and you can control this power using the controller touchscreen by percentage. This makes the part of the process that we all hate, the cleaning, so much easier and more effective. Let's now look at the grain basket. The first thing you will notice is that there are latches at the bottom of the basket. These latches unfold when you lift the basket and then position themselves quickly onto the edge of the brewing system, ready for you to start your sparge. These latches have been designed to easily handle the weight of a maximum grain bill that is wet, with lots of room on top for safety. These latches also work well when you put the grain basket on top of a bucket after the mash. Handy. Let's now look at some of the vital statistics for this system. Firstly, looking at the maximum grain capacity of the 2 unit sizes, as you can see on screen now. Before judging this fully, you should also consider the minimum batch sizes also, and these are as follows. This provides a fair amount of flexibility, meaning that a great number of styles are possible with this system, but if you want to brew something especially strong, like the majority of brewing systems, you will need to perform a reiterated mash if you want a higher volume. In terms of heating power, the 2 units have the following heating elements. The 40 litre operates from 1 single power socket and the 80 litre uses 2 to maximise its power. It would be fair to say that in terms of raw heating power, these totally blow away any other electrical system that I've ever tried to date for brewing. Let's now look at accessories. I guess we all like accessories, and this is an area of the Brewtools that will not disappoint. There are a nice selection of these that you can buy to not only build up the customization that you are looking for pipework wise, but also other items like an aeration nozzle, a really nice stainless steel mash paddle, and that sight glass that you probably know you don't really need, but really love the idea of having it anyway. So far in this review I've tried very hard to just present facts and not give opinion. I truly believe that this is my job when making such a video. I also believe that once you hear my opinion then you should keep in mind that my tastes are my own, and you are a unique individual who needs to make your own choices. For some, the cost of this system will be enough to determine that it is ruled out. It will not stop you fantasizing about owning one though, believe me. I'm not going to mention prices here because different people will view this video at different times and prices will vary, especially when this system is an import to your country. For those that are interested, here are my thoughts. For me it was very easy to fall in love with the Brewtools. I have only tried the 40 litre unit, but I imagine the 80 litre is even better due to that extra power and volume that I'm sure leads to even more flexibility. I love anything that is premium, high-tech, customizable and simply sexy. I believe that some people will love this so much that they might feel inclined to stick a dress on it and marry it. Whichever way you see this, it simply is the best brew porn we have had in the home market to date. Yes, it does take a brew or two to get used to the way this system works, but I have to say that this became very natural for me after this breaking in period. I have found that achieving mash efficiencies in the late 80% to early 90% is very easy, and every part of this system works very smoothly. I'm particularly impressed with how the counterflow chiller does its job. The controller is everything I could hope for, with even more coming hopefully this year. This system simply oozes high quality and great design on every aspect. One thing that is very important to me about this brewing system is that every single part can be replaced. Think about this for a moment. The vast majority of the brewing systems out there at the moment actually become dead if the heating elements fail, for example. Nothing to do but buy a new one. With this system, you simply replace them. Also, because every part can be replaced, there is also great potential to upgrade this system in time. For example, there is already a kit in the works that can be bought for the 40-litre unit that doubles its heating output. So when you consider this, you then realise that this system has a far longer lifespan compared to other systems in the market, and I think it's a very important thing to bear in mind when weighing this up. This now brings this video to a close. If you have any questions, then please let me know via YouTube or Facebook. I do hope that you found this video to be useful, interesting and enjoyable. If appropriate, then please like this video on YouTube, and if you have not done so already, please consider subscribing. I regularly post new content. Happy brewing!